The race to fill Duncan Hunter's seat in Congress is getting personal. How Darrell Issa is defending an ad attacking his Republican opponent that even his own party condemns.
The mysterious coronavirus that started in China spreads and claims more lives. It hasn't reached San Diego, but the vaccine for it might be here.
Plus, the evidence that led a judge to send a North County man to trial for his girlfriend's murder. But first.
I'm Darrell Issa, and I approve this message.
Former Congressman Darrell Issa has endorsed an ad targeting Carl DeMaio that even his own party is calling inappropriate.
The former city councilman is Issa's Republican opponent in the race to replace Duncan Hunter in Congress. Our 10 News reporter John Horn is live in the newsroom. And John, you spoke with Issa today. He's standing by this ad.
He sure is, and that ad appears to emphasize the fact that Carl DeMaio is gay, and it also uses imagery of MS-13 gang members when describing DeMaio's stance on a path to citizenship. Meanwhile, the Republican Party chair of San Diego tells me the ad is highly inappropriate, but when I brought that criticism to Issa's attention earlier today, he appeared to shrug it off.
No spin, just facts.
Issa's ad presents itself as a retort to a recent DeMaio commercial that questioned Issa's dedication to President Trump. Issa's ad turns it right back around.
DeMaio admitted on Twitter, "I called Donald Trump a disgusting pig."
But then the attacks appear to get more personal. The ad shows two headlines, one from the Los Angeles Blade and another from The Hill, that include DeMaio's sexual orientation.
But DeMaio does support citizenship for illegal aliens.
The ad then transitions to an image of MS-13 gang members, though DeMaio's comments in that very article refer to well-educated immigrants and those who came to the U.S. as children. GOP San Diego Chair Tony Kravarik called the ad highly inappropriate, saying candidates should stick to the issues. At a news conference Thursday, Issa told me the ad was appropriate. Your recent ad on DeMaio created quite the stir. It also was called highly inappropriate by the local Republican Party. I just want to know if you wanted to comment on it.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
The one that says he is, that puts the MS-13 people at the end, and then there's a picture of DeMaio and the word gay is on the screen. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, I think you're talking about some headlines from actual newspapers. Yeah, I certainly think that you should talk to The Hill and to Blade and ask them why they use those words. But the reality is those are real headlines talking about his real failures.
Issa and DeMaio, both Republicans, are competing with Democrat Amar Campanajjar to replace Duncan Hunter in East County's 50th district. Our polling shows Campanajjar likely with enough votes to get through to the November runoff, meaning there's only room for one Republican past the March primary. Expect the ads to get more intense.
From a campaign point of view, you don't care about what you want people to believe. You care about what they remember and what action they will take. Does this move them?
And San Diego Mayor Kevin Faulconer recently endorsed Issa for Congress. A spokesman for the mayor tells me the endorsement stands, but that campaigns should focus on issues and not sexual orientation. And DeMaio, in a statement, said he wants to stick to what matters to voters and again questioned Issa's devotion to President Trump. Live in the newsroom, John Horn, 10 News.
Race is heating up early, John. Thank you. All right. Since this ad was released, viewers have asked why we at ABC 10 News are airing it during our commercial breaks. The short answer is it's the law. FCC regulations require media outlets to air any campaign ads for candidates who are running for federal office. We can't decide not to air a candidate's ads if they are viewed as offensive or false.
A 17-year-old accused of driving under the influence and causing a crash that killed two other teenagers was arraigned from his hospital bed today. The teenager pleaded not guilty, but prosecutors didn't say what he's charged with because he's an underage teenager. Investigators say the teen was driving on the 163 in Mission Valley when he veered off a ramp and crashed. The car caught fire. The driver and two other teens managed to get out, but two 15-year-old boys were killed in the fire. Attorneys did not talk about the surviving teens' conditions, but said the driver will be transferred to juvenile hall when he gets out of the hospital.
A North County man is going to trial for the brutal murder of his girlfriend in her Encinitas home last year. Our 10 News reporter Mimi Alcala is joining us from Vista with the evidence that helped the judge make that decision. We do want to warn you, some of you may find the images disturbing.
She was lover of this earth, lover of the, butterflies and flowers, and just a nature girl.
That's how friends of 43-year-old Sabrina Lukowski chose to remember her. They came to the preliminary hearing for the man accused of killing her at her Encinitas home in October, her then-boyfriend Henry Cohen. Here he is at his arraignment last year. A judge ordered us to blur his face in court Thursday, but he appeared to be unbothered as witnesses took the stand presenting evidence.
Henry Cohen fit best with the 58% contributor to the DNA mixture.
This is a closer-up photograph of the apparent blood on the wall.
Photos linked to the crime scene were shown in court. Blood splatters on the walls, a shoe, blood-stained jeans, and Lukowski's battered, decomposing body. Too graphic for us to show and too graphic for her friends to see.
No, we heard verbally what was being shown, and that's why thankfully we knew what not to look at.
Investigators zeroed in on Cohen after Lukowski's mother requested a welfare check when she didn't hear from her daughter. Deputies served a search warrant at a granny flat the couple shared behind Cohen's mother's home on Summit Avenue. But when they approached his mother,
she stumbled upon her words and she got fed up.
So the second time we went out there, while we were standing in the front of the house, it smelled like something was dead.
Investigators served a search warrant and discovered Lukowski's body. An autopsy revealed she died from strangulation and blunt force trauma. A motive for the murder is still unclear.
We all are just going to cherish her and stay strong and make sure that we get justice for Sabrina.
That was our Mimi Alcala reporting. Cohen has been in trouble with the law before. 10 years ago, he was arrested on kidnapping and assault charges in Lacey, Washington. At the time, police said that Cohen admitted to tying up and cutting a man with a knife over an argument about marijuana.
1 down, 3 to go. A strong field of the world's top golfers teed it up today in the first round of the Farmers Insurance Open. But one name still stands above the rest. 10 News Sports Director Ben Higgins is live at Torrey Pines right now on Tiger Watch. Ben?
It's a pretty amazing phenomenon. You can actually feel Tiger's gallery from about 2 holes away out here on the North Course at Torrey Pines. It numbered in the thousands today, as it always does, and they were all hoping to get a chance to cheer golf's great comeback story. Tiger Woods trying to win for the 9th time here at Torrey Pines. Hasn't actually won since 2013, but this is his first tournament here since winning the Masters last year. First time it really feels like he's got a chance to get back into the winner's circle. Got off to a slow start on the North Course today, starting at number 10. Number 13 here, though, nice approach, set up a birdie that would get him back to even par on his round. This could be a historic week for Tiger. If he does win on Sunday, he will break a tie with Sam Snead. 82 career victories right now. 83 would set a new PGA Tour record. After finishing his front 9 at even par, made the turn, and Tiger started playing pretty well on his back 9, making birdies coming up here at number 1, and then he would make a 2-putt birdie on number 5, the par 5, and finish at 3 under par for his round. For Tiger Woods, 3 shots off the lead, but he was pretty happy with his first golf round of the PGA Tour year.
You know, overall, I felt like the golf course was definitely gettable today. You know, par 5s are all reachable, and so I felt like I had to get something in the red, and I felt like I was able to do that. You know, I felt like I drove it a little bit better today, which was nice, and overall, you know, I got something out of the 60s.
Tiger in contention usually means big crowds, big TV ratings here at Torrey Pines. Coming up in sports, we'll see what some of the other big names were able to do in today's first round. Live at the Farmers Insurance Open at Torrey Pines, I'm Ben Higgins, 10 News.
All right, Ben, we'll talk to you in sports. Power is still out for several neighbors in El Cajon after a semi-truck smashed into a power pole this morning. Police say the truck tried to make a turn on Verna Way. That's when it ran over a fire hydrant and hit the power pole. The crash knocked out power well into the afternoon for hundreds of people. SDG&E had previously estimated restoration by about 6, but now it's not expected to be back on until midnight.
Border Patrol agents busted a man at the Calexico port of entry with more than 200 pounds of liquid methamphetamine in his truck. The agents say the man, a U.S. citizen, tried crossing into the U.S. this week, but his truck was flagged for inspection. A canine sniffed out the drugs, which agents say were hidden in the gas tank. They say as soon as they opened the tank, the liquid inside began to crystallize. A test determined it was meth. The man was arrested and the meth, worth more than $260,000 on the street, was seized.
Governor Gavin Newsom joined volunteers this morning to help count the number of people sleeping on our San Diego streets. They spent hours walking around downtown, talking with people who don't have a consistent roof over their heads. Governor Newsom says that the state is already moving forward to combat the homeless crisis here in San Diego.
We're putting $42.2 million of emergency grants this month here into San Diego. We're putting temporary trailers, FEMA trailers that the state owns. We're sending them out throughout the state, and we're asking for an additional $750 million from the state of California.
And technology is helping. This year, instead of pens and clipboards, volunteers used an app on their phone to count the number of homeless people in San Diego.